This morning's reading is again from The Four Purposes of Life by Dan Millman. For many of us, life seems like a puzzle with missing pieces. We form plans and change them. We choose one path, then another, trying to find the right mate and career, hoping that we've made the right decisions and that it will all work out. At some point, we ask ourselves central questions. What is the purpose of my life? What am I here to accomplish on my life's journey? Earth is a perfect school, and daily life is the classroom. Once this central premise penetrates your psyche, you'll stop seeking and start trusting. Because you'll confront a higher truth. You aren't here on earth merely to strive for success. You're here to learn. And daily life is guaranteed to teach you all you need in order to grow and evolve and awaken to your higher purpose here. You are evolving even now, and there is no way to fail as long as you continue to learn. Like a stone slowly polished by the river's flow, we're shaped over time by the currents of life. The Indian saint Ramakrishna once observed, "If you try to open a walnut when the shell is still green, it is nearly impossible, but when the walnut is ripe, it opens with just a tap." Allow the classroom of daily life to serve your ripening process.
Wouldn't it just feel awesome? It'd be great, wouldn't it, to feel that way all the time, groovy? Wouldn't you just love to feel groovy all the time? Well, reality says we can. However, life has struggles. We get challenges. Why else would we be here if it weren't to grow and to expand? Those experiences, those struggles, they make us stronger. They help us grow our faith, not just in life, but in ourselves. And that's really important. Sometimes we forget that life isn't about trying to get somewhere. And it's not about striving for success, however we define that. Life is an ongoing process. It's about experiencing the journey, the ups and the downs. It's about finding out what we want to do with our lives while we're here. How do we conduct ourselves on a daily basis with our walk in the world? Most people, not all, not in this room, have a tendency to look outside of themselves for a purpose, right? For a reason for being. And when we do that, we become like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, right? Always searching outside of ourselves, having to go on this long away, far journey to find some magical wizard to tell us that we have everything we need within, and we never lost it. For years, humankind has looked to the sky and looked to gods for all the answers. We've invented the wheel, we've invented fire. We have landed on the moon, Mars. We have all those metal objects out there in the solar system. And despite the incredible developments that we have made, for the most part, humanity has no more of an understanding of why we exist than the first enlightened thinkers did. We're always searching, we're always looking, yet we all have a purpose. We all have a reason for being here. And our personal reason does not have to be a complex one. It may be that our soul's purpose is learning to love unconditionally. Or maybe it's to experience a spiritual awakening. Maybe it's learning to surrender to what life has to offer us. Maybe it's to be a parent or a spouse or a friend, or to be in service to humanity. I would venture to say that there is a different purpose or a different way of that purpose showing up for each and every human on this planet. And yet we all have a purpose. Eleanor Roosevelt said, "The purpose of life is to live it, to taste experience to the utmost, to reach out eagerly and without fear for newer and richer experience." When we have a sense of meaning and a sense of purpose in our life, it can be an incredible motivator for us. And sometimes just questioning what that purpose is where life's true mission is found. It's very significant to know why you're here, to give you that feeling of purpose, that reason for being, to understand what you are called to do while you're here in this human form on the planet at this particular time. It's real important to know that. Whatever your purpose is, the way you find it, the way you know it exists, is because it gives you that sense of fulfillment. Think back on a time when you felt particularly alive and excited and passionate. When you had an experience that you really felt that it was worth being in the middle of and sharing. Maybe it was falling in love with another person or with your birth of a child. Whatever it was. Maybe it was a time when you felt particularly fulfilled by being in service, by helping someone less fortunate than yourself. Thinking about our life story helps us to reflect on what it is we have found meaningful, what it is that we have found joyful and fulfilling. It could be anything from writing stories to caring for children to learning lessons to teaching lessons to relationships to artistic endeavors. It doesn't matter. Whatever your purpose is yours alone. Meaning, fulfillment, and purpose can be found in every single act as we bear witness to our lives, as we really look at it and figure out, what is it that calls to me? What is it that I just need to do? The task only has to be meaningful to you. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. It is we, ourselves, who impose that sense of meaning on the events of our lives. Nobody else. Don't give that power to anyone. Doesn't matter what they think. What matters is how you feel and how you see it. I mean, I look at Molly and Nathan, their passion, their purpose, what? Writing. And what a beautiful gift. Kathy singing. You know, she joins groups, she sings, and with her heart. You've heard her sing here. Annette, with her cookie, everyone kind of, right? Tell me that's not a form of art. And I know that Susie and Julene help her a lot. It's that passion. That's what we're talking about. Personally, I believe it's the idea that we are born with an expiration date that drives our human need for that sense of meaning, for that sense of purpose. We all know we're here for a short time. We don't know what that means coming in. It's the knowledge that life presents us challenges, which reminds us to make the most of the time that we have while we're here. Be it a really lengthy period of time or be it a short time. That's why they say, appreciate today. It's the present. It's a gift. You don't know about tomorrow. Earth truly is the perfect school, and daily life a classroom. A classroom that we're here to learn and to teach. And isn't it true that life teaches us daily, whether we want to learn or not? It teaches us what we need to know in order to grow, in order to evolve and in order to awaken to our spiritual nature, to who we truly are. Jody Chapman wrote, "Your soul always has the answers. Your life purpose is just under the surface, waiting to be explored and realized." We all have it. We all have something that we're passionate toward. Do you know what you're here to do? What is it that you love? What is it that you are so passionate about? Is your purpose in life driven by something that somebody told you you should do or you could do? Or did it arrive from that deep feeling within, that inspiration from the divine, from our God selves? When we physically embody our purpose and feel it alive inside of our whole being, not just our mind, we're truly connected to it. And that's when it can take hold in our life. Our bodies are an incredible works of art. It's rich with feeling, incredible wisdom, and it's navigated by our spiritual nature, which accesses that higher wisdom. Our life's purpose is that thread that is connecting mind, body, and spirit. Our minds only rest easily and think clearly when those things are aligned, when our mind is aligned with our body and with our spirit. And we aren't going to find our purpose simply through thinking and talking ourselves into action. Our body and our spirit, it must be in harmony with our thoughts. If our mind desires something and yet inside of us doesn't, then it's not a fit. Or if our instincts and our intuition say do something and our mind stops us, apparently we're not in sync. We need all three of those things working together. And as powerful as our mind is, in order to know our life's purpose, it's important to stay aware of how our mind sometimes overrides what our body and our spirit are trying to tell us. That fear loves to creep in, doesn't it? Listening to our body, listening to those feelings and trusting that inner voice within and our instincts will always, always lead us to the right place at the right time. And the big bonus is that your life's purpose will become much more clear. It will become stronger as you listen and respond equally, mind, body, and spirit. And here's the thing. If you're unsure of what your purpose is and what you're called to do, very simple. All you have to do is ask. Do you know, have you ever heard, ask and you shall receive? What a concept, right? Ask, simply ask the universe, ask your higher self, what is my purpose right now today? Then breathe. Sit in the silence. Notice what it is you hear or feel or see, and then respond to it. Follow that guidance and see where it takes you. You won't know unless you try. Robert Byrne reminds us that the purpose of life is a life of purpose. I mean, it's a simple statement, but pretty powerful, isn't it? Our greatest challenge in every area of self-improvement, of self-awareness, is turning knowledge into action. Would you agree with that? Turning what we know into what we actually do. Dan Millman wrote this: "Some of us act without thinking. Too many of us think without acting." Yeah. I have some great ideas, you guys. Right? And it's putting those into practice, putting those into action. Don't let any of your dreams or any of your desires go by the wayside because you don't know what to do. All you have to do is take that next step, that first step and move forward into whatever it is. One of the first things we want to do is learn to take responsibility for our past choices, not beat ourselves up for them, recognize them, look at them, understand it, because as we do that, then we can reclaim our power to make new choices, different choices, better choices for ourselves. And as our skills and our understanding improve, we can much better appreciate the fact that our life is largely shaped by what we do and what we say every single day of our life. Go out and live your passion. Share your gifts with humanity. I'm talking about something that you need to do, not something necessarily that you want to do or that you've thought about, something that you really need to do, that it comes from in here. That's something that captures your imagination and touches you very deeply. Use life as an experiment. An experiment is kind of like a laboratory of self-exploration. And why not? Think about, what are your talents? What are your values? What are your interests? And how can you utilize those things to be in service? And when I say be in service, maybe it's to make one person smile. Maybe it's to make a whole group of people laugh. Whatever your purpose is. Ask those questions to your mind, your body, and your spirit, because it will assist you in finding a direction if you're unsure what direction you want to take. The key, be patient with yourself. Self-knowledge is the heart of wisdom, and wisdom is earned over time. Stretch yourself, absolutely, and don't assume limitations, because the truth is there are none. What you do matters. How you do it matters even more. Do it with love. Do it with passion. Do it with a really deep gratitude for the opportunity to share and to love. I'm going to close this morning with a quote from Martin Luther King Jr. Whatever your life work is, do it well. Do it so well that no one else could do it better. If it falls on your lot to be a street sweeper, sweep streets like Michelangelo painted, like Shakespeare wrote poetry, like Beethoven composed music. Sweep streets so well that all of the hosts of heaven and earth will have to pause and say, here lived a great street sweeper. I love that. Thank you for being here while I shared this truth as I understand it.